Yeah. We know it's Tennessee Tech, okay? Like, it's not a big name opponent. Just kind of sleepwalking through the Saturday. You think we're not going to get on here and give an official score prediction because it's Tennessee Tech? You think we might not take a lock in this game because it's Tennessee Tech? Check back in today on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back. I am Clint. He is Daniel. We appreciate you being our first listeners of every single day. You're the loyal everydayers. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel.com. More on them in a second. We are Locked On Bulldogs, talking every single day about Georgia, in season, out of season. And in season, we got overreaction shows. We got extra content because you know it's fall. You know the best team in all the land is Georgia. And you're here to consume as much content as you can because it never gets dull. It's never boring, and it's never wrong, Daniel.
Now, what you didn't say is you're a Georgia fan, because it's likely that you're maybe an Alabama fan, but you still know that Georgia's the best team in the land. You still know that you want all the Georgia content on your timeline, and that's why you invade the comments, and that's why you subscribe to the channel, and we're happy to have you. So subscribe to the audio channel, the YouTube channel. We're happy to have you along for this journey.
We're not joking, and
we genuinely love you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what makes college sports great. The fact that you're in our comments is what makes college sports the best thing in the world. So let's talk about Georgia. Tennessee Tech comes to town this weekend. First home game, Sanford Stadium season opener. Chance for some guys maybe to get a little healthy. Chance for some guys maybe to acclimate to the season. You may see a little Jonel Aguero action in this game. May see him slide in there. You're not going to see Michael Williams in this game. I'm speculating.
Let me take the speculation out. We're not going to see Michael Williams.
We're not going to see him, but hopefully we see guys get some snaps. You're going to see a lot of young guys get a lot of meaningful action.
If you don't think I'm going to be on the Twitter machine talking Justin Williams in the third quarter and making statements that I will not be able to take back, I won't be able to take them back. They're going to be out there in the internet forever, but I'm going to make them. And
he's going to make them.
I feel great about it.
He's going to make them because he's going to feel all of those feelings. Let me ask you this, Clint.
Okay.
How many quarterbacks will play in this game?
3.
3 quarterbacks. We're going to see all 3 of them. I believe so. I believe so as well. We only saw 2 against Clemson, but we are going to see 3. I believe Jaden Rashada will play in this game. Yep. And so how many quarterbacks will throw a pass in this game?
3.
Ooh, Nelly. Spicy.
I think we're going to see.
Sometimes Kirby makes this for us. I want to see Carson Beck go in at halftime, take off the pads, and hang them up. I don't think that'll happen. I think Carson Beck will come out in the third quarter. Kirby likes to bring him out in the third quarter. I think midway through the third quarter, you'll see that change, and then somewhere midway through the fourth quarter, you'll see probably Rashada come in. I don't know if we're still going to be throwing the ball. I don't know if we're still going to be throwing the ball with Jaden Rashada.
In which I think because of the running back lack of depth, lack of a better term, because we're still getting
a lot
guys
of freshman
healthy,
running back going to play in this game too.
I think a lot of freshman running back are. I think we're going to see 3rd and 6. And I think Kirby's just going to want to see. I think Bobo's just going to want to see. Let's throw a little out route. Let's see a button hook. Let's see something simple. Let's see it out there. I want to see what we got in Rashada. We know what we have in Gunnar Stockton, which we didn't talk about last week, by the way. But the second backup quarterback coming in, Gunnar Stockton, that was signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, Daniel.
Yeah, it's important. It's not unimportant, but it doesn't win you anything.
It doesn't. You're right. It's just something to note. Is all I'm saying.
It's a noteworthy thing. All right, let's talk about this game. Tennessee Tech comes into town. I believe the line last I checked was 53.5. That's 53.5 is the line. Yeah. Georgia minus 53.5. The over-under, however, in this game is, hold on, finding it as we speak. It's in the 60s.
Yeah.
It is, I lost it. Let me just ask you this. Do you have a lock while I look for what this over-under is? You could
Let me
tell
tell you what
I'm not locking it up because I don't have
Let me
it
tell you
off
what
the
I
top
don't
of
have
my
a
head.
lock in. I do not have a lock in to spread. I have a firm belief. When you hit 50s on a spread, I don't touch it with anything I have. I walk away. A 50 burger is a
Run,
hard
don't
thing.
walk away.
Just get out now. Total, I have a lean. The one I do have a lock on. And you can find whatever number you have. You could tell me any number that is out there. I will take a lock on the under team total Tennessee Tech.
62.5 is the total, which means
Shutout coming, yo.
they have the that puts the team total somewhere around, if it's 53.5, and that puts the total somewhere around like 58 to 5. Like 58 to 5 is essentially what Las Vegas predicts this game is going to be.
Give me an under on team total for if you can find it. I don't know if you can by the time you're listening.
You're saying you would take an under anything above 3.5.
Correct.
Anything above 3.5, he's taking the under. All right.
Correct.
We'll lock him up for an under 3.5.
There you go.
I'm not gonna bet this. I do like the game under. Like under 62.5 feels right to me. I think 55-0 is probably the most likely score here. But I could see a 48-7. I could see a 48-6. Which would obviously be a Tennessee Tech cover. In these types of games, you worry that like Chauncey Bowen's coming in, Clint, and you think he didn't want. You think he didn't want that end zone? You think he didn't want that end zone? Like,
see, here's the deal. Sometimes
he's not
when you
going
bring
to
in
stop
people,
running.
No, sometimes when you bring in backups, it's because you're just trying to get them experience or see what they have. We know what we have in these guys. They're incredibly talented. They're hungry competitors. They get pissed off because they don't get to have the celebration of the touchdown because they're going against best on best. They're going against ones. They're going against the deal, and they are hungry. They're going to score.
They want to see that end zone in Sanford Stadium. So I'm staying away from the game. I do not have any locks in the game. No. Clint's locking up Tennessee Tech team total under 3.5.
I may already be fully in love with this defense, and I don't even care.
No, he is fully exposed out here. He does not care in front of God and everybody.
Yep.
We are going to be back segments 2 and 3. We're going around the horn of college football this weekend, giving you our locks. We know that it wasn't great last week. There's nowhere to go but up. Your boys are ready. We got a full card. Take our advice at your own risk right after this on Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
And this is, in fact, FanDuel. FanDuel is fantastic. They're the official sports book of Locked On Bulldogs. Daniel and I love them. We use them. Every single thing we're doing today with locks, get on over to FanDuel. They're going to take care of you because they take care of us, the official sports book of Locked On Bulldogs. You've heard us talk a lot about them. They're the number one sports book, but we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can get, if you bet $5, we'll get, just $5 bet, we'll get 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with a YouTube base plan, you'll be able to watch every single regular season afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com. Download America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel.com. Daniel, how many locks
threw another
you
one
got?
on the fire. I just threw another one on the fire. I'm here on the FanDuel app as you're doing the ad read. I'm just perusing the FanDuel app.
Let me look for the team total. And he wasn't looking for the Tennessee Tech total. He passed something that caught his eye and he stopped.
Oh, hello.
That's exactly what he did.
Okay, then.
Daniel's got 7. I have 6. Let's get to it. Daniel, you start us off.
Yeah, let's start on Friday night. Let's start tomorrow night, Friday night. Let's go Power 5, Power 4. Sorry, there's no such thing as a Power 5 anymore. A Power 4 matchup, BYU at SMU. These are 2 power conference teams.
I'm wildly interested where you're going here.
Yeah. BYU takes the road, heads to SMU. Now, SMU, if you recall way back, it was a Thursday or a Friday game. I can't remember which. before last Saturday, SMU, or was it week 0? Yeah, it was a week 0 game. SMU struggled mightily against Nevada. And people making a big deal about that. Oh, the SMU offense is supposed to be good this year. They're supposed to be, they were supposed to, kind of be a sleeper pick in the ACC, maybe have a big season. SMU struggles against Nevada. Now, lo and behold, come back week 1, Nevada goes on the road to Troy, a pretty decent group of 5 school, and Nevada beats Troy on the road in week 2. I think Nevada is actually a pretty decent football team. They got SMU at home. Maybe people sleeping on Nevada a little bit. I think SMU sleptwalked through that game. I don't think BYU is very good. I think SMU is going to right the ship. I think Rhett Lashley and this SMU offense is going to get things going at home now in week 2 against BYU. And so I'm going to lay 11.5 points with SMU against the BYU Cougars, because I think BYU is a dead team walking. I think the coach is a dead man walking. And I'm going to take SMU, a team that did not look great in their first game. I'm going to take them, laying a decent-sized number at home.
I was really interested where you're going with this, because if you watch that Nevada game, Nevada's a very, very, very improved team. Tons of new influx of talent and a head coach that knows what he's doing.
New coach,
that is a program on the rise. I thought SMU played well on the road and has some very talented pieces there. So I don't hate that at all. I'm for it. Daniel, I'm going to go to a game that I have a lot of, well, not a lot. I mean, half of them are underdogs. But I'm going to start with an underdog, because I think this team showed us in a make or break season for the coach, and with a new influx of talent, both at wide receiver and quarterback, against a team that is one dimensional. I hate that I'm betting with Arkansas, but Daniel, gosh dang it, I am. They're getting 7.5. 7 on the hook is important for me here. This hook, real important for me. They go to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State has an incredible running back. I get it. Ollie's fantastic, but they're one dimensional. The quarterback is bad. Coach is okay. Gundy has a good track record, but he is kind of just an institutionalized thing up there. Arkansas is make or break with a very, 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 very improved roster. Daniel, up and down, across the board. Give me Arkansas plus 7.5 against Oklahoma State.
This is the first fight of the season. We're gonna duke this one out here, Clint. Give me the Pokes. I'm gonna lay them in Stillwater.
It is
at home for the Cowboys. I think Oklahoma State has the better coach. I think Oklahoma State has the better playmakers. I think Oklahoma State has the better defense. I think Oklahoma State is the better team. So I am going to lay the 7.5. I don't love the hook, but I'm going to lay the 7.5 with the Cowboys. You want to talk about another dead coach walking? It is a race. Yep. You ever see the movie Rat Race? Like, it's a race between Billy Napier and Sam Pittman to see who can get fired first. And I don't know who's going to win that race, but they are both going to end up losers at the end of this season. Give me Oklahoma State minus the 7.5. I'm going to go to another SEC play here. Cal.
Here we go.
Noted ACC team Cal is traveling across the country,
literally, to
Auburn, Alabama. Berkeley and Auburn, Alabama. Are those places similar or different?
Let me, if I may, as the resident California, they could not be more polar opposites.
There's not a single listener or to this show that does not already know that.
Well, the severity of which is pretty harsh.
Now, Auburn scored 1 billion points last week against nobody. Peyton Thorne looked incredible, partly because Auburn's got some young receivers that are really good. This is, as a Georgia fan, you need to pay attention. Auburn's got some young receivers that are very good. And we know the coach can scheme offense among other illicit activities that he is proficient at. So when Cal comes to town, Cal is a team with an absolutely tremendous running back, and they are going to try to lean on the ground game. Now, when you back Auburn into a corner, Peyton Thorne is still the quarterback, which means against a Power 4 opponent, even if it's a lesser team like Cal, against a Power 4 opponent, I don't know that Peyton Thorne is going to be able to perform the same way that he did in week 1, which means Auburn's going to be leaning a bit more on the run game. Give me the under 53.5 in this game. Give me this game reeks of like a 28-10 type game. Like just
100%.
an absolute low scoring. The clock is moving. We are running the ball. And at the end of the day, you look up and it's 13-30. And we have come under this total easily. So give me under 53.5 in Auburn Cal.
Okay. I don't hate that at all. And just if you're looking for a flyer, Cal is not going to travel well. It's not going to be pretty.
I almost laid them with Auburn.
I would lay them with Auburn.
It's 13.5. I almost laid them with Auburn.
But if it was 11, if it was 11, if it was 10, I would absolutely lay them. Under is fantastic. I'm going to give you one more before we go to break. Look, I might be suckling down the Kool-Aid. I might be all up in feels. And it's not because I like this team. It's because I like the product they have on the field. I'm watching them on the field, and what they have is good. Not subjective. Objectively, it's good. Georgia Tech is doing good things on the football field. Florida State's not a good team. Okay. Georgia Tech is
two things can be true at the same time.
They're getting points. I know it's on the road. It's a turnover and it's home field. What they're saying is they're at the same level as Syracuse. They're saying Georgia Tech is at the same level of Syracuse on a neutral field or no turnovers. And what I'm saying is a first-year head coach with a new QB who's a journeyman who's gone transfer portal a couple times. I'm going to take the coach that's been there, that's building something that has a run game and a run defense. Those travel in college football. Give me Ramble and Wreck +3, getting the points at Syracuse, Daniel.
Wait. Georgia Tech -3.
-3. I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry.
Well, you said we're going to break, but we're going to have to fight again before we go to break.
You're taking the points with the home team.
I'm taking the points. That's why I wanted to make sure that you knew that you were having to lay those points.
No, I'm laying the points,
taking
Daniel.
Fran Brown. I'm taking Fran Brown, and I'm taking the Ohio State transfer quarterback that Fran Brown loves. I'm taking the rebuilt roster. And listen, here's what I'm really taking. Georgia State, coached by Del McGee. This is the second week in a row Georgia Tech is playing a former Kirby Smart assistant, by the way. Georgia State, who Tech beat last week, coached by Del McGee, is one of the most decimated rosters in the FBS. Like, they lost everybody to the transfer portal. Del McGee's going to build that program back up, but it's going to take him a minute. And Georgia Tech didn't exactly steamroll Georgia State last week.
No.
Florida State's not good. Florida State is bad. Full stop.
Defensive line.
End of sentence.
Their
defensive line sucks. Like,
by the hollowed out paper towel dispenser.
Boston College rushed for double the amount of yards that Georgia Tech rushed for against Florida State.
That quarterback can run, Daniel. That quarterback can run.
So can the quarterback at Georgia Tech. And it was a home game for Florida State against Boston College, a neutral site game against Georgia Tech. I'm just saying, I think BC is actually an improved team. I like Syracuse in this game. At home, getting points. I think, if anything, these two teams are even. So I'll take the home team with the points. Syracuse +3. We'll be back. We've got more locks for you right after these.
Daniel, right now we know a bunch of teams that are looking for help on their coaching staff, or should soon be looking.
They will be soon. They will be looking soon. Gainesville, listen up. We got an ad read for you, Gainesville.
When you're hiring for small businesses like the university,
it's a small business.
You want to find quality professionals sometimes that write the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs, unlike Gainesville, is actually fantastic at what they do. We love LinkedIn Jobs. You need to go ahead and get over there. And because if Daniel and I had a position open for anybody, which we don't, because we have great people like Randy Spoon, who is on LinkedIn, fantastic, dude. We got executive producers all over the place that we found on LinkedIn because it's fantastic. It's not just job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else. Over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Daniel, where are we going next?
2 fights, Clint. Two fights.
Well,
this bodes well for the listeners. This bodes well.
Say, y'all don't know what we're doing. We're trying to get that average up, and so
you understand how you get 500. You understand how you get to 500. You just take both sides.
Let me go ahead. I'm gonna go to the marquee game.
Take us to the big game?
Do you have the big nooner Texas and Michigan on your ticket?
I don't have it, but I'll tell you why after you give your pick.
I'm just going to give you 3 things.
Okay. You have a lock in this game, I assume.
I have a lock.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. I do not.
Thing 1, chaos wins.
Chaos wins. Football. Bet
Thing
chaos.
2, bet chaos. Thing 2, it's a home team with a talented roster.
There it is.
Thing 3, Steve Sarkisian is 1-4 against top 10 college football teams.
Say that again now.
Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of Texas.
I heard it.
In 5 attempts to beat top 10 teams.
Okay.
Has done so once.
Once? One time?
Give me Michigan plus 7.5. They're not a good team. I think I called for an upset. If you can sprinkle some on the money line, because again, it's chaos. Texas comes in high on their horse, feeling so good about themselves. Give me Michigan plus 7.5.
Don't sprinkle anything on that money line, friends. But I'll tell you what. I was tempted to take Michigan plus 7.5. I bet before the Michigan game ended on Saturday.
Okay.
If you recall, I got on this podcast and took Michigan minus 20.5, and they won by 20.
It was bad.
But it wasn't that close. Okay. They hurt me because I almost covered, but it wasn't that close. Right. They had a pick 6 at the end to get to within 20. They were neck and neck with Fresno State.
They were.
Michigan does not have an offense. Before last week's games ended, this line was sitting at 5.5. I bet Texas minus 5.5, and it has moved a full 2 points over the 7-point line to 7.5 now. So I cannot get on here and lock up Texas minus 7.5. Absolutely not. I'm tempted to lock up Michigan plus 7.5, but I still think Michigan doesn't have an offense. Period. Yeah. They don't have a quarterback,
but they have a great defense, Daniel, and they're at home.
They do. And Texas's run D is the most susceptible part of their team. Hey, listen, Georgia fans. Did you hear what I just said?
What'd you say?
I said that Texas lost both their starting D tackles last year.
Yep.
And Colorado State ran for over 100 yards on them last week.
Okay, so what you're saying is a non-power 4 great.
I'm saying offense. ETN. Branson.
Yep, say more.
Frazier. I'm saying the holy trinity of Georgia running backs are going to run straight through that Texas defense. I can't lock anything up in this game. Michigan's ability to run the ball with Edwards is the reason that they could keep this game competitive. So that's the reason that I stay away from everything. Like I wanted to bet the under, but I can't because what if Michigan runs for 250 yards and scores that way? Texas is going to score. Texas is going to score some points in this game.
It's going to be 21 points for Texas, I think, is the floor.
So yeah, I don't hate the pick, but I like the fact that I'm sitting on a Texas minus 5.5 as well.
A 21-14 game, completely reasonable. I cash.
That is a completely reasonable score. I would also cash in that scenario, so that would be great.
All right, Dan, where are we going next?
I got 3 more. I am going to take you to the real game of the week, the Heartland's game of the week, Middle America's game of the week of the century, Iowa State is playing against Iowa. Clint.
We have 3 games we're both betting on. Let's see where this one goes. Will we have a third fight?
There's no way we could fight because you listed 3 principles. I'm going to list 1. Matt Campbell can't beat Iowa, period. Give me the Hawkeyes -2.5 at home against Iowa State because they win this game always, period. So lock them up.
If you find Iowa at home against a conference opponent and they are favored under 3 points.
Yeah. This is not a conference opponent, but it's a rival. So it's
rivalry. Yeah. Take it.
Yeah. Give me the Hawkeyes. All right. I got 2 more. How many more you got?
I got 2 more as well.
All right. What do you want? I got 2 SEC non-conference matchups.
Okay. I'm going to go. Let me give you my 1 and then give you your 2.
Okay.
Kansas is really good at football and has a great quarterback. Illinois, not good at all at football.
I looked at this one hard.
Illinois is at home. Kansas is giving 5.5 as a road favorite. Illinois is a bad team. Kansas has a top 10 quarterback. You heard me. Kansas has a top 10 quarterback, maybe top 5. And I'm not
when
stretching.
His back is in one piece, he's as good as there is in college football.
Give me Kansas, given 5.5.
Road favorites are scary, but I don't hate that. I'm going to take a home favorite. Kenny Dillingham is fixing Arizona State. It's a slow process. Arizona State's still not very good. But you know who else isn't very good? The Mississippi State Lesser Bulldogs.
Real bad.
They are traveling out west to Arizona State for what is now Big 12 After Dark. Used to be Pac-12 After Dark. Now it's Big 12 After Dark. Give me Arizona State laying 6.5. I actually like this Arizona State offense this year, and I don't like anything about Mississippi State. This is a team that is in complete and total rebuilding mode. Okay. Last one. The game that I think is the biggest, most exciting, most interesting game of the weekend. It's Tennessee, NC State. This is the game of the weekend.
We have 4 games that we're betting on together, Daniel.
The line in this game has
7.5.
a lot.
Right.
It was 4. It was 4 like a week ago.
Yeah.
And now Nico has come onto the scene.
What'd that do?
It is like 8. Yeah. So I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch this line. Instead, I'm going to remind you, as I do often on this podcast, that Tennessee's defensive front is really, really good at football. They have a very, very good front 7. Georgia fans, you should be scared of Tennessee's defensive front. Give me the under 60.5. I think there's a lot of buzz around Tennessee. They put up 1 billion points last week. Josh Heupel, Nico, all that stuff. I think NC State's going to be ready for them. I think they're going to, quote unquote, limit them to maybe 35 points. But I think there's a chance that Tennessee could absolutely stonewall NC State. I also think this could be a rock fight, and this game could end 22-21 or something like that. Either way, give me the under 60.5. I think that's my favorite bet in this game.
Daniel, we are in sync on 2 of the 4 that we bet. This is an under.
Right.
It's look, I don't
what
think
could go wrong?
A lot. I don't think Tennessee's going to have a repeat of what they did week 1. I think their front 7, again, we've been on this podcast. I went on another podcast at the same exact thing. Their front 7 is really good. I think NC State doesn't have the dudes. Give me the under in this game. I think it might actually be closer than people are wanting it to be, but it's going to be low scoring. Give me the under as well. Those are our locks for the week. Go get them. We're going to be back tomorrow talking about what we're excited about, what we're nervous about, and don't sleep on for this Tennessee Tech. Yes, we have them. Don't yell at us. Come back then. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.